Hi and welcome to Overrule Tennis with Renato. On today's episode, we're going to discuss the semifinals of the women in the US Open and also the final. And we're going to talk about the semifinals leading to the final that we're going to see today between Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner. But before we start, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment or a note, whatever you want to tell us, or if you have an opinion, or if you have something you want me to talk about, we can also do that. With no more further ado, let's start with this. We started with the semifinals between Jessie Pegula and Aryna Sabalenka, with the win from Aryna in 3 sets. The finals were both of them were very, very entertaining. Was maybe I will say a little better than the final. On the final, I think we never saw like Amanda took off, and we saw that Sabalenka found always ways and was more strategic about it. On the other semi-final, we had Osaka versus Amanda Anasimova. I think Osaka should be very proud of herself. She played very well. She played especially well on the first set. But we saw again the joy and the spark coming to her and to her tennis. Even she said on the press conference how happy she was with everything, and then she found a new love for tennis, even bigger than she thought she had before. And then we went for the final. I think the final was decided very much in strategy. Both players can actually hit the ball very, very hard. But it was interesting to see Sabalenka be the one trying to get one more ball in the other side of the court and force Amanda to the error. Amanda didn't play as good as she played maybe on the semifinals. The nerves hit her a little bit, but I think she should be very proud. Especially after it's so hard to, like the other final was not just bad, but also embarrassing because then people keep bringing it up. And I think on that note, it was like harder to forget about, but I think she did a great job. I think she could have brought to a third set, but I think Aryna was very smart the way she played and very strategic. And at the beginning of the match, I must say, the first 2 games, I didn't thought Aryna was being very strategic. And I was not understanding where she's going with her strategy. But then I realized that she was actually, then she started also to play more to Amanda forehand, where you get more errors from it. But also she started to predict more every time Amanda will go hit a backhand down the line. And I think that was actually, for me, in the whole match, the key point. I think Amanda backhand down the line is terrific. Is probably the best in the world at this moment. But I think Aryna start to count that will happen. And then it's Amanda, not that she became a one-trick pony, but it was becoming expected that she would do that. And I think on that one was what Aryna was so smart doing. She knew that will happen every time she played to her backhand, and she was counting on that. And that made her, because at the beginning, even I was not understanding why she plays so much to her backhand, as she also then started to mix a little more to the forehand side, especially when she wanted to be offensive, and she was trying to get more inside of the court, because the first set, actually, to be honest, Aryna was playing the further back as I ever saw, and even a bit on the second set, but then I understood because she was trying to be more consistent, so she was not trying to be rushed, which was a smart tactic from Aryna. But then I start to understand that what she wanted it was get that predictability from Amanda, and she did it. So congratulations to Aryna. 3 finals, 1 title. I think I watch her press conference, and I think you guys all should watch after the match. She makes so good points, and he's so insightful and honest the way she speaks about the match. I think it was very, very, very interesting. She mentions a lot of things like how that she tried to forget the first one, but then it happened again, so she realized maybe I shouldn't forget, and I should actually learn my lesson from both. So then she started to analyze what happened before, and then she got that was very emotional. The response were maybe she expects to win in a way, but she also has to expect, and then she starts to learn that she has to expect the opponent to also put a fight. Oh, yeah, and the opponent also wants to win. Was very interesting. Then she talks a little bit more about her using a psychologist what works for her. She also very nice the way she talks about her father. She almost tears up. It's a very, very nice. I think Arena always gives most of the time very honest and blunt press conference, and this was no exception. But I think it comes from a more sweet place and a very learning place. I was very happy with that. And then now we go to the men. We have the victories of Yannick Sinner and Alcaraz. Alcaraz defeated Novak Djokovic in 3 sets. I don't think Alcaraz played his best, but I don't think Alcaraz actually ever even needed to play his best. And it was for me the saddest moment. I like Djokovic. I think Djokovic had an amazing career. I enjoy watching Djokovic. I like more Djokovic the player than Djokovic the person, but I respect both. And it was sad to see that Djokovic actually didn't have many weapons to do much. Not just was physically demanding, but also I think in tennis level, I think Alcaraz is levels above him, and so is Sinner. But I think was never so as evident as it was this last match. I don't think Alcaraz even needed to play his best. Clearly, he didn't thought he played his best because he went right away to practice his serve, so he was not happy with something. But still, not his best is so above the rest that it's impressive. And then I had Sinner versus Felix. I'm so happy Felix took 1 set. Yes. And I think Felix on that second set played like he can actually play. He just needs to bring that level all the time. I think he was so happy about it. I think this was not just like a confident booster for him, but also it shows that he belongs there. And I think if he was a 3-setter, probably things could paint a little bit different. But I think, and he said something along those lines on the press conference, Felix. But I think exactly that first now he doesn't have any more 5-setters until next Australia Open, so he can focus on that. But I think he can build a momentum with his best of 3 sets to then go to the 5 sets. So I was still happy with him. I think Sinner played clinical. But it was a very, very good tournament for Felix. And I think Felix put some fight and made Sinner had to go for 4 sets. And now the moment we all knew was coming, and we were just waiting to see if some miracle will happen. But apparently it did not. So we're going to have the Sinner versus Alcaraz, which I'm sure is going to be like a hell of a fight. I will give maybe the edge to Alcaraz. I think, first I think it's like, it looks more fit and more willing. And I think he's very mature. Strange enough in this tournament, that's I think the reason he didn't drop a set. You see some maturity on his tennis and in his approach to his matches. So I will give him the edge. But to be honest, my only goal is that they go to the best of 5 sets and win whatever he wins. I hope he wins Alcaraz just because I like to divide the slams between them two. And so there's like not a clear edge and they kind of go toe to toe every time. So it's more... I just don't want like in the beginning when they had Agassi versus Sampras, and then was Sampras winning all the time. And then and then you can see that you can feel the attitude in Agassi going, and I loved Agassi actually more than I love Sampras. So, but you could see these demeanor some of those matches, and then he ended up changing a bit that, but I don't know, there was a clear edge and you could sense it, and I don't want this to happen between Sinner and Alcaraz. So I hope Alcaraz wins this one, so it's 2-2, and then we go to the next year. But I am looking forward to watch the match. I think it's gonna be very funny. Now about, just to finish, then I forgot to mention that in the intro, but I hope they don't get that chic to do the presentation of the trophy anymore. She was horrible. The whole thing was cringe. I like the way it used to be done before. You call them, let them speak, end of the story. The way she's trying to grab the momentum to herself, and I know probably she wants the check, and I'm sure they can give her the check some other way. Just please don't do the same on the men's side. I don't think they will, because the backlash was tremendous, because it was like very cringy and ridiculous. And I didn't understand. And then she's interrupting the players, which is I don't even like. There was a point there. I don't even know what she was doing. Um, but okay, I feel like spiced up about this subject, so maybe I will do a racket abuse segment, which I can go full on what are my opinions about that ceremony, the the trophy ceremony. Okay, I think it's all for today, and I cannot wait to talk tomorrow about the men's final, and let's see. Before I go, please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment or an opinion, and if you want, you can also rate the final. And it will be interesting if you do like rate the semis and then rate the final, and then we see which one like could have been the final. It's like a fun stuff to do. Okay, thank you so much.